A while back, I did this video right here. It was about collecting in general and some of the stupid shit that statue collectors say or do. I didn't intend to do anything more than just that video. However, it spawned a number of other videos about stupid things collectors do, which then got me thinking about non-collectors and just everyday life, and it turned into this series of things that piss me off. And I guess another way to rename the series is not things that piss me off, but just stupid things that people do, whether it's regarding collecting or real life. And that's what we're gonna hit today, both. Half of the things I'm going to talk about are really stupid things that collectors do, and the other half are really stupid things that people do. Now keep in mind, I've done tons of episodes on this, and I continue to think of things I haven't covered. I wouldn't say new stuff because people have been doing this for a long time, but I want to make sure it's all new stuff compared to all the other episodes I've done. Mr. X, if it's new stuff, why are you wearing the same shirts you always do? It's because I have like 90 shirts and there's only 6 I wear. You know what I'm talking about. Hey, my name is Mr. X. Welcome to the Extreme Channel. We are giving away $1,000 statues to you guys. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey, thank you for tuning in for another episode of Stupid Stuff People Do, Things That Piss Me Off, whatever you want to call it, it's another episode. So I thought of 10 things we're going to talk about today, and we're going to start with the things that normal people do, and then we're going to talk about collectors, because let's face it, collectors aren't normal people. I'm a little more passionate about the collector stuff, but there are some things that are bugging me about everyday life I definitely wanted to address. So in no particular order, let's start with number 1. This one, I don't understand why people do this, and there's 2 parts to it. One is, if you're on a very short trip, why do you have to check luggage? I know there's some exceptions, like maybe you have liquid, so you can't carry that on. But I'll tell you, I see people on a 3-day trip pack 2 or 3 bags that they check. What the fuck? Seriously. My wife and I did an 18-day trip to Asia and we only had 2 carry-ons and we didn't reuse clothes. I just don't understand that. People that have to bring so much luggage for when they travel. On the flip side of that, I also don't understand when I'm checking into a normal hotel like a Hampton Inn and Suites, Marriott, and people get that big luggage cart and they'll come in with like 20 suitcases. Are you moving in for a month? Most hotels like that aren't meant for a month. It cracks me up, people need that luggage cart and they fill it up with all their luggage for just 1 or 2 nights. That makes you look really stupid. Speaking of hotels, that kind of leads to number 2. There's 2 parts to this. Some is airlines, but a lot of times in hotels, especially in Vegas, it cracks me up when I walk into a Vegas hotel and I see a line of 40 to 200 people waiting to check in. And there are mobile check-ins with no lines right next to it. You see this in the airport, you see it in hotels, you see it in other venues as well. I'm sorry, in 2024, you cannot be illiterate in electronics. Everyone has learned with their mobile phone. I understand you might have some special request, but that can't be the majority of the people. You just look stupid when you're gonna wait in line for an hour when you can just go to the front and do it yourself.
Do you like to do it yourself?
Number 3 kind of stays in that same theme. Talking about using self-check-ins or things of that nature. Self-checkouts in grocery stores. Self-checkouts in grocery stores are great. It's horrible what's happening lately as they keep shutting them down because people were stealing. But when you're at a grocery store, or any store for that matter, and there's a self-checkout and it's really busy and a lot of people are waiting for the self-checkout, you know who looks really stupid? The people doing the self-checkout while talking on the phone. Seriously, if the phone conversation is that important, then you shouldn't be checking out. You should be going to handle whatever the hell that is. But they entirely slow everything down. I'm pretty sure that phone conversation, Karen, is not that important. I gotta say, my segues today are fantastic because my next one is about phones as well. I love when you see someone driving aggressively and their car's all beat up from accidents. It's like no shit, Sherlock. I wonder how that happened. But to add on to that, I see it all the time. I see someone coming up really fast, tailgating, then finally when they pass me, not only do they have multiple dents in their car, but usually they're like this. They hold their phone up in their line of vision. I'm like, how stupid are you? You clearly didn't learn the first time your aggressive and stupid driving or distracted driving caused an accident, and you're going to do it again. People that don't learn from their mistakes, how stupid are you? Now, my last normal one is really prevalent right now, and it's really prevalent on social media, and it's political. But don't worry, and I'm going to offend some people. And that's okay if I offend you. If this offends you, I frankly don't want you watching my channel. People that have utter blind contempt for either Trump or Biden look really stupid. I mean, there are people whose entire life is to post negative things about one of these two people. I've said it many times. People I don't like, they don't get a lot of my attention or a lot of my time. But it cracks me up how people are so anti-Trump or anti-Biden. It's like, get a fucking life. You know how stupid you look when you continually post something about somebody? And the ironic thing is what that person is or isn't doing probably isn't personally affecting you much. Seriously, Trump derangement syndrome, I know they haven't coined it, but Biden derangement syndrome are real things. You are really stupid if you're that obsessed with somebody else. Now's the time where if you don't care about collecting, you can jump off. But if you do care about collecting, this is what you've been waiting for. I got some good ones. I'm a little more passionate about these. So first of all, these are things that make collectors look really stupid when they do it or say it. So first is I see collectors all the time. They will judge a statue or someone else or their display and then do it themselves or own the same statue, but they will make a justification why it's okay for them to do it. So for example, you shouldn't display stuff like that. Now I do it because of XYZ. You just look really stupid when you do that. Another thing, this is one of my top ones. And collectors believe that size and price equate to quality. There are some collectors out there who think the bigger it is, the more expensive it is, the better statue it is. That is not true at all. Bigger isn't always better. And some people are obsessed with this concept. It just blows my mind. They truly think the bigger the statue, the more expensive it is, the better it is. Must be a grail, right? Not the case. I just realized I have more than 10. I hope that doesn't disappoint you guys. You know what makes you look really stupid when you say you have 10 and then you have more than that? Some collectors, I love how they speak. They will have their opinion on something, which is fine, but they believe everyone else thinks like them. So for example, they'll say, I don't know why Queen Studios did this. Collectors aren't going to buy that, when they're totally speaking about their own subjective opinion. You just look stupid. And trust me, stupid people do not speak for me. So I've never done this in my life. I've never bought back a statue I've sold. And I'm not going to say it's stupid that you do that once, but if you do it more than once, you're pretty stupid. I'm sorry, anyone that buys back a statue multiple times, you just look stupid when you do that. How indecisive and immature are you? Again, I'll give you forgiveness if you've done it once, but if you've done it more than once, that's just stupid. Kind of along those lines, we always talk about, hopefully a community of a hobby is a community, true community. We watch out for each other, we take care of each other, but it amazes me when some people, they do one of two things. If they're selling a statue, they'll brag about how much money they made off of it. So you're bragging how much you ripped someone else off who's a fellow collector? That's pretty fucked up. Or they'll brag, I own that, it was a piece of trash, I sold it. Well, I bet you the person you sold it to feels really good you're calling it a piece of trash. I'll bet you money when you sold it, you didn't advertise it as a piece of trash. It was probably, this statue is amazing. So that makes you not only stupid, but a liar. Okay, this last one. I buy statues from a lot of different venues. I bought statues from Spec Fiction, I buy them directly from the retailer, Comic Concepts, Cosmic Chase. There's some other great retailers out there like Collector Zone that I've never used, and I'm sure many more I'm not thinking of. And it's fine to buy from multiple retailers. Some people buy only from one retailer, and I think it's fine to recommend one or two or three, or just say what kind of experience you've had from them. But there's some people out there who every other day are recommending someone different. It's like, what the fuck? Didn't 1 month ago you recommend these people like they were the only people to buy from, and now you're telling me these are the only people to buy from, and then next week you're going to tell me these are the only people to buy from? I'm trying to figure those people out. I don't understand it. I do understand it makes them look stupid, but when you constantly praise and then bash a retailer, you look pretty stupid. Stop doing that. Because the truth is, most statue distributors are going to get it right most of the time, but they will screw up from time to time because they're human-based and it happens. And if every one time they screw up, you flip out and jump to another one, I'd hate to see what you're like with friendships or relationships. So that's my list. What did I miss? Feel free to go check out my other videos on this as well, because I have probably about 100 different things now. So while I'm not saying you're going to think of something I haven't thought of, maybe you can aim something at me specifically, because I'm sure I've been guilty of some of these. Throw that down in the comments below, because you could win a statue with that comment.
As we try to grow this channel, we like to reward you guys for watching and subscribing. So because of that, every 5,000 milestone when it comes to subscribers, we give away a couple $1,000s worth of statues. We've actually given away over 20 statues. To win one was easy. First, you gotta be subscribed to the channel. You'll get bell notifications when videos drop. Each video that drops, you want to make a comment on those videos. We pick a random video, we give away statues based on a comment. You can say whatever you want. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. If this offended you, go cry to your mom. But I appreciate everybody else. Please drop me a like and subscribe if you liked it. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.